do these problems. But the first thing I would do, guys, is if you're given points, just plot the points. Now, this doesn't look like very nice points to plot. But again, if we can understand that square root of 5 is between the square root of 9 and the square root of 4, right? It's going to be 4 point something, right? So I mean, just estimate. We also know that these points are going to be, so this is going to be, we're down at -1 is the y-coordinate. And we're going to be -1, 2, 3, 4, between 4 and 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are my vertices. OK. By using this information alone, am I able to identify if my transverse axis is horizontal or vertical? Yeah. Because your vertices lie on the transverse axis. So if your vertices lie on the transverse axis, then obviously it's horizontal, right? Can we also determine the center from this information? Well, be careful. We're not at 0, 0. We're down here. But you're right. It is the midpoint, but it's at 0, -1, right? So center is at 0, -1. I know it's a horizontal transverse axis. And then let's see, what else could I vary? Well, the distance, now that we know the distance, now that we know the center, the distance from the center to your vertices is what? The distance from your center to either of your vertices.
Isn't that 2, your vertices?
It's a, which is the square root of 5.
OK. That's like 2 point something.
Right. No. Oh, what am I doing? What did I do?
How is that 4 then?
I have no idea. That's like 2 and change, right?
Yeah.
I was like messed, I don't know. My brain hurts. I've been doing a lot of teaching today. Good catch. All right, so A is your square root of 5. Though, but regardless, I want you guys to see, if you guys can take a look at this, from this equation, or from just plotting 2 points, I was able to determine that my transverse axis is horizontal. I found the center, and I found the value of A. Right? That's a lot of information just from plotting this information on a graph and looking at it and saying, what can I learn from this? Now, the only other thing is the conjugate axis. Now, remember, the conjugate axis is the distance from your co-vertice to your co-vertice. Right? So, or co-vertex to co-vertex. And the distance from the center to one co-vertex is, remember I said the same thing like 5 times in a row? What's the distance from the center to your co-vertices? B, right? So if you're going from co-vertex to co-vertex, that means that distance is 2b. So I can say 4 is equal to 2b. That means b is equal to 2. So that means b squared is equal to 4. So now, if a is square root of 5, that means a squared is equal to 5. So now I know a squared, now I know b squared, and I have my h and my k. That's it. That's all I need, guys. So it's going to be x minus h squared, or x minus 0. So that's going to be x squared. Remember, a has to be under the x since it's horizontal. So a squared, I'm sorry, a squared, not a. So a squared is 5 minus, now it's going to be y minus a -1. So that's y plus 1 squared over b squared, which is 4, equals 1. And that's it. That's what we call done, son.